Have you ever looked up at the sky and seen a plane so massive, so surreal, that it made you stop and stare? That, most likely, was the Airbus A380, the largest passenger airliner in the world. A true giant of the skies. In today's video, we're diving deep into the story of this aviation marvel, the engineering, the legacy, and the mystery behind why such a behemoth of the air is already fading from our skies. The Airbus A380 is not just a plane. It's a symbol of ambition, of scale, of what humans can achieve when imagination meets engineering. Launched in the early 2000s, this double-decker aircraft was Airbus's answer to Boeing's dominance with the 747. But instead of just matching the Queen of the Skies, Airbus wanted to go even bigger. When you first lay eyes on the A380, it's hard not to be blown away. It stands over 24 meters tall, that's about 8 stories high. Its wingspan stretches nearly 80 meters across, and it can carry over 850 passengers in an all-economy layout, though most airlines operated with around 500 to 600 seats. It's essentially a flying city. The A380 took its first flight on April 27, 2005. Crowds gathered, cameras rolled, aviation enthusiasts around the world watched in awe. Here was something that had never been done before on this scale. A plane so heavy, so massive, it needed reinforced runways and specialized gates just to operate. Airports had to adapt, infrastructure had to evolve. The A380 didn't just change air travel, it changed the very shape of modern airports. Inside, the A380 feels more like a cruise ship than an airplane. With 2 full decks stretching the entire length of the fuselage, there's space for lounges, bars, even showers, yes, actual showers, especially if you're flying Emirates first class. The cabin is quiet, smooth, and surprisingly spacious. In economy, it doesn't feel cramped. In business or first class, it feels luxurious, almost unreal. For many passengers, flying on an A380 isn't just a flight, it's an experience. Underneath all that glamour is some serious engineering muscle. The A380 is powered by 4 massive engines, either the Rolls-Royce Trent 900 or the Engine Alliance GP7200. Each engine generates up to 80,000 pounds of thrust. The wings, larger than the wings of a Boeing 747, are curved and sculpted for efficiency, and the materials used in construction include advanced composites and lightweight alloys to help offset the aircraft's enormous size. But despite all its achievements, the A380's story isn't just one of triumph, it's also one of challenge. And here's where things get interesting. You see, Airbus believed that the future of air travel was bigger planes carrying more people between major hubs. But Boeing took a different approach. Instead of building bigger planes, they focused on building more efficient, long-range, twin-engine aircraft like the 787 Dreamliner, designed for point-to-point travel. And in the end, Boeing was right. As fuel prices soared and airlines looked to cut costs, the A380 started to look less like a dream and more like a financial burden. The plane was expensive to operate, difficult to fill on certain routes, and required specialized ground handling. Smaller, more flexible aircraft became the industry's favorite. And slowly, airlines began pulling their A380s out of service. Then came the final blow, the COVID-19 pandemic. With travel demand collapsing and long-haul routes grinding to a halt, the A380 fleet around the world was grounded. Some airlines, like Air France, retired their entire fleet permanently. Even Emirates, the largest A380 operator, scaled back dramatically. In 2021, Airbus announced the end of the A380 program. The final aircraft was delivered in 2021 to Emirates, marking the close of a chapter in aviation history. The very last A380 rolled off the production line in Toulouse, France, number 251 of what was once supposed to be a fleet of over 1,200. So was the A380 a failure? That's a question a lot of aviation fans debate. Financially, it didn't make the return Airbus had hoped for. But from an engineering and passenger experience standpoint, it was revolutionary. For nearly 2 decades, it was the flagship of several airlines, drawing in passengers just for the chance to fly on it. It became iconic, gracing airports, Instagram feeds, and aviation documentaries. And it's not gone yet. As of 2025, several airlines are bringing the A380 back into service. Emirates, British Airways, Singapore Airlines, Qatar, they still see value in the aircraft for high-demand routes. Especially now that passenger numbers are rebounding, and major hubs like London Heathrow and Dubai International are once again buzzing with activity. Plus, there's something emotional about the A380. For aviation enthusiasts, it represents a golden age of flying, a time when the experience mattered just as much as the destination. When airlines dared to dream big and think bigger. For now, the A380 remains in our skies, but its future is uncertain. As fuel efficiency, sustainability, and operating costs become the new kings of the industry, the days of the superjumbo may be numbered. But its legacy, that will endure. Every time you see one of these giants take off, gracefully lifting that enormous body into the sky, it's a reminder of what human ingenuity can accomplish. It defies logic, defies gravity, and for a moment, it defies all the rules of what we thought was possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the story of the Airbus A380, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Have you ever flown on an A380? What was your experience like? I'd love to hear your stories. This is Denzel, signing off. See you in the next one. Keep looking up.